while he was in Rivers State, he was yet to flag off the Calabari, the Trans-Calabari Road. I can call it the Calabari Road, right? And interestingly, he made a statement that has made the news. Almost everybody has been talking about it, or everybody's been making reference to it. National TV, newspapers, front pages, radio stations, news shows. Almost everybody has been talking about it. All right. And it reminds me of when he had lost the election and he made the call and he conceded and he said, see, that there is no human blood worth my political ambition. And he has displayed it again yesterday when he told the governor and by extension his predecessor, Nyesom Wike, to find a way to work together. If not, the potential damage will not just be for Rivers State, but for Niger Delta, for Nigeria at large. Because, you know, Rivers State is very instrumental to the development of the country in terms of revenue generation. I mean, we've got one of the largest reserves when we talk oil and gas. We have one of the largest economies aside from Lagos and by extension Ogun State, and maybe to a large extent the fact that we are dilly-dallying when it comes to growth and development may be one of the reasons why the country is facing the kind of economic challenge that it is facing. And I didn't say yesterday, you heard on the show when the chairman of the media, the subcommittee, or as it relates to the investment and the economic summit happening tomorrow, he says the River State is not moving at the potential it should be moving economically and in terms of investment. Why didn't make? So could it be that's the reason why the nation is moving at a very slow rate? Could that be a contributing factor? And that's something we need to take into consideration while we talk. So let's not just look at the, let's not just look at the statement and critically go deeper and see what other things we can glean from there. How much peace in Rivers State, how much peace in Rivers State politics can affect the nation at large, and something we need to talk about, right? Also, I'm looking at it from the history of political fights in Rivers State. You hardly see these strong men shake hands. You hardly, I say. For instance, Amechi and Wike, I hear, they still are not shaking hands. There's certain people who are not necessarily speaking to each other, but we've got the new generation of politicians who, they're saying, let bygones be bygones. Yeah, we fought last year, but let's hug today. So I'm wondering, could we see that friendship happen between Wike and Fubara all over again? But you know what? Let's take a listen to what the former president had to say.
Honorable Minister Nyesom Wike and Governor Sim Fubara must work together for developing the land and the people of Rivers State. Rivers State is very critical in this country. If Rivers State is destabilized, the whole Niger Delta will be destabilized. And it will not end within the Niger Delta alone. Leaders must know that nobody takes 100%. You must learn the principle of give and take. And I join the leaders of Rivers State to also re-emphasize that there is a need for ceasefire. One hand does not clap. You take two hands to clap.
One hand cannot clap. I'm trying it, not working. All hands must be in deck. People. I'm going from these angles and perspectives. But how important do you think a political peace at this point will be? Because I've always argued, if you look at it from both sides, there are errors, both sides have made some missteps when you look at it from the legal angle. So, would you call for peace at this time? Because some of you say, before we get to peace, we need justice, right? So, I'm wondering what your thoughts are concerning the call for peace in Rivers State, so that we can begin to face development, attract investments, attract economic benefits to the state, and people can get employed, and people can begin to do better. And whatever little things that we will earn will be enough, because the economy in Rivers State will become buoyant. That's my first big story. Let's quickly look at my second big story. And my second big story has got to do with the chief judge of Nigeria, the CJN, who has come out to lambast judges, is scolding judges, and is scolding them because, according to him, that there are plethora of conflicting judgments. And if you listen to the show yesterday, 5 o'clock, we talked about it. We once again, thanks to Constance Mega, who gave me that caption. We talked about rivers of court judgment, or is it court cases? It's something like that. Rivers of court cases. Very wonderful caption, I would say. And yesterday we talked about conflicting judgments, and we made reference to the NJC. And the lawyer that was in the studio yesterday said, see, in the first place, there isn't supposed to be the conversation on conflicting judgment, because some of the courts did not even have the jurisdiction to look at some matters before them. But then we still went ahead to look at conflicting judgment, and we heard from the lawyer that only an appellate court can treat the matter that has been decided upon by the High Court or a lower court. And so these things that the Chief Judge of Nigeria is now talking about, I think it was at an event yesterday, 2-day event held for the Court of Appeal, and he was saying, see, these things make the judiciary look bad. These things make the judiciary become the talk of the town, the clown of the town, and everybody's laughing at the judiciary. Now, he's supposed to step down in August, and he's promising that before August, that all of the judges and justices who are responsible for all of this, aberrations would have to go in for it. And he was saying that he would have to cleanse to an extent the judiciary, so all of these things can become a thing of the past. Now, I'm bothered and wondering if in any way it does have some kind of relation to River State, or River State is part of the judges or part of the people being criticized. I'm wondering, and I'm wondering out loud, because we have seen situations where this High Court has said this, that High Court has said another. I mean, there's another High Court judgment, by the way, that has just come out from River State. I'm wondering when the CJ will act in it. I'm wondering, but what are your thoughts concerning it? You also did talk about the 2023 election judgments, and he said something about righting the wrongs. He said something about righting the wrongs. So, because I don't want it to sound like I'm making the story up, I will now pick one of the dailies, one of the newspapers, so that I can read from there, so that you can get to understand. Now, I'm going to read from two different newspapers. I'm going to start with this one. And this one says, oh God, my network is terrible. I wonder if it's because of the rain. But, there is this one that says, CJN blasts judges over conflicting judgments. You can find that on PM News. And the first 3 paragraphs read, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, has criticized judges for giving conflicting verdicts. He also said some of the judgments and rulings by judges were questionable. Now, the third paragraph, the CJN, who is due to retire in August, promises to reform the judiciary before he takes a bow from office. Now, the fourth paragraph, the CJN said all of these in his keynote address on Monday at the Court of Appeal 2-day workshop for the review of the 2023 election petition tribunals and court and appeals held in Abuja. He said, we have been treated to an unpalatable cocktail of misleading and conflicting judgments, as well as frivolous interlocutory orders emanating from courts of coordinate jurisdiction, with attempts to make a mockery of our judicial system. Once again, I ask the question, does it sound like what is happening in River State? But then it goes on to say, this is largely an embarrassment of our jurisprudence, and we will not take it lying low. Punitive measures must be taken against such erring judges. Now, the CJN stated that he had desire to bequeath a robust and prosperous judiciary that will be the pride of not only Nigerians but the African continent. Okay, that's one. But let's read from another newspaper, and this time the Daily Trust, and the caption is, "We have to address our inadequacies in 2023 elections rulings." Once again from the CJN. I do think I have a commercial break. Yeah, I do have a commercial break. When I do come back, I read the article and then I'll go straight to my last big story. So just stay tuned. I'll be right back. 3. Yes, I am Kalada Kurubatu. You're listening to 92.3 Nigeria Info. Let's get down to business. I just was reading a statement credited to the Chief Justice of Nigeria, the Chief Judge of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola. And I was telling you how he is scolding justices and judges for giving conflicting orders. And I was reading from the Daily Trust with the caption, "We have to address our inadequacies in 2023 elections rulings." Now, according to the article, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, has said that the 2023 general elections opened a new vista in the adjudication of political matters and threw up things for the judiciary to review. He spoke at the opening of a 2-day workshop for judges on the review of the 2023 election petition tribunals and court and appeals on Monday in Abuja. He said the workshop provided an opportunity to review things that might have been done with the best of intention and professionalism. He said, no doubt, the adjudication in or on the 2023 election petitions came with varied challenges that have to be critically assessed and reviewed in order to forge a much better way forward. In those areas we've done well. We can literally eulogize ourselves and strive to improve on them, as self-praise is no viler an offender than self-denial. As for those areas that are inadequacies are manifestly obvious, we have to properly address them and bring on board new methods and approaches that would whet our appetite for success. We must intensify efforts in engaging in those activities that will earn us more accolades than vilifications. Speaking under pressure from political martyrs under the time frame provided by the electoral laws, he noted the kind of intention and emotions attached to political matters in Nigeria. And he said, have collectively made our work more excruciating, painstaking, and sometimes endangering, as we are occasionally exposed to threats, especially from some elements within the political fold. But like I would always say, no amount of threat or intimidation should make a thoroughbred judicial officer deviate from the law and pander to public sentiment and emotions which are often misplaced. Okay, so that's what he said. I'd like to get your thoughts. So judiciary is looking at becoming better for you and I. They're looking at how they can, tweak things. But more importantly, they're scolding justices who are given conflicting orders. And I want to believe in many ways than none that they are referring to the River State problems, the political problems in River State. So I really want to see how this would play out. I wonder if you're as curious as I am. But let's quickly look at the last big story. And the last big story has got to do with you like this one. It's very much hilarious. It's something that we've talked about for a couple of occasions or on a couple of occasions. Talking about January, we talked about it. Talking about February, I think we talked about it as well. Talking about March, we talked about it. Same thing in April, we talked about it. You've seen it as well. The reporter saying that the Port Harcourt Refinery would start operation sometime in July. Yeah, you heard me right. And this is coming from Ipman. Ipman is saying that the Port Harcourt Refinery will start operations in July. And I'm wondering, I don't know. That's how they said Dangote's refinery will start today. Did I say today? It will start this month. But somehow, we're getting to hear it will start in the month of June. I'm hoping that when we get to June, indeed, it will indeed, emphasis on indeed, it would start. And that's my prayer. Because we're tired of hearing dates. Now we're being told July. Well, what is the guarantee that it will start operations in July? What is the guarantee? These are some of the issues. But Ipman has come out to tell us that the Port Harcourt Refinery, which by the way was supposed to start first week of May, because we were told in April that we're told 2 weeks to the end of April that the Port Harcourt Refinery would start working beginning of May. This is the 21st day of May 2024. My goodness, we yet to hear anything about the Port Harcourt Refinery. And most filling stations are closed. Most filling stations are selling at a very expensive rate, $8.45 in some places. And we're tired of the promises. But what do you make of it? Ipman has come out again. I mean, nobody asked them. But they're just giving a report to the Nigerian populace, telling them, be patient, things will soon get better. And by the way, for those of you who do not know, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Ipman, that's the full meaning of Ipman. And they've come out and say, hey, it will work soon. Dangote's refinery is supposed to start working next month in terms of petrol. I don't even know if they've started rolling out diesel. Remember, they were supposed to have started rolling out diesel. They had brought up a price charts, for how much diesel will cost. For those who are buying a particular number of liters will get a particular price. Those who are buying, they had a chart. They had brought up a chart, or they had brought out a chart, for the diesel purchasing. But I wonder if that has even started. But we heard recently that they would start selling petrol next month. I don't know. I wonder why it is so difficult, even though it's not rocket science, it is so difficult for us to get that sector working. I wonder if we would ever get that sector working. I'm just being... And coming to think of it, why don't we have state governments, investing in these businesses? I'm talking about diesel. I'm talking about petrol. I mean, one state can decide to say, okay, let's just focus on producing diesel. Another state can say, okay, let's just focus on producing petrol. Or maybe, producing gas. I'm wondering why. Anyways, it's time for you to tell me what you think about the big stories. I'd like to get your thoughts on it. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, and 0817-923-0007. What are your thoughts? But remember, you can send me audio and text format messages to WhatsApp. And the number for WhatsApp is 0809-030-6416. All right, let's get your thoughts and let's talk. On Facebook, Thank God Ability Atuibu says, Port Harcourt Refinery to commence operation by July. Another audio promise again. And Newton Ikira says, good day, Canada. The big story. CJ and Scold judges over conflicting credibility. Loves truth, justice. Take this man serious. The man who presided over a sham, in my opinion, Supreme Court judge, he should say that to the Marine. Ipman blamed Harcourt Refinery to start in July. Enough of these vague promises. Enough. Aren't they tired of lying? This is happening because of our docility. No one hold you accountable. Shame, shame, shame. Degbara Nekabari says the position of former President Goodluck Jonathan is the best in order to restore peace in our state, in order to grow our economy. And President Jonathan's statement for truth is a welcome statement. He advised leaders, or I think he said the advised leaders should try taking 100% power, which is the crux in the Rivers political debacle. I think the Rivers people who know who's against G, your message is confusing on me. For Ernest, you can do well to reconstruct those contributions of yours. But let's quickly go to the phone lines and let's see who we have there. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, and 0817-923-0007. Okay, let's take this one and let's find out who we have here.
Good afternoon, Chief KD. Hector. Yesterday, I was present at a flag-off ceremony of the second phase of Trans-Calabari Road. You see, I went there not because I'm a politician. I went there not because I belong to any political camp. In fact, one must not be there, shouldn't go there because that person is a politician. And so I decided to witness it. Now, the former president's statement is a clarion call. He chooses his words carefully. No wonder he's a global ambassador for peace. Then, when the governor also took over the stage, the governor also chose his words carefully. There was no politicization of the event, anything. They did not, even nobody politicize, the ceremony of yesterday. They all choose their words carefully, calling for unity. I think if the other warring factions can also hit to this call, Rivers State will make good progress.
All right.
There is a saying that coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success. If we all can abide of former President Goodluck Jonathan, Rivers State will need to keep progressing, make progress and success.
Okay.
If we hit to this call, Nigerians will stop hearing Rivers State in the people of political acrimonies. I think all these vital politics will let us work together for a common and collective Rivers State. Thank you.
All right, then.
From
all right, thank you very much. This one says this peace can only come from ourselves here in government. Outside body can't bring peace here in River State. Okay, from Rumokuta. And this one says another audio promise. Port Harcourt Refinery is not ready to commence Operation QED. Ivan from Eligbolo. Let's take a listen to this.
Greetings, KDB. Aseti Koe from my 3. KDB, several times you and I have quarreled about the refinery coming to limelight, and I've always said it's not coming to anywhere. It's not because I'm a pessimist, simply by track record and the way we do things in Nigeria. It is not in the best interest of Nigerian politicians that refinery should start working. So I am not surprised that it is not going to work. Now, talking about Ipman, is Ipman actually an arm of government? Is Ipman more potent, or are they more of a government arm than the government themselves that have actually come out on several occasions and told us when the refinery will work and it never worked? So is it their own comment now that the federal government will not deny that they never said anything about the refinery coming on to line July? Just peace. We're not complaining that the thing is no longer working because we know it's not going to work. So they should allow us to breathe. Finally, to open an old wound. We don't want to hear it because he's irritated. Please, they should let us be. It's an audio talk. It's an audio talk coming from an audio arm of the government. We don't want it. Please, look at Dangote now. How should role on how to play along the Nigerian market because they know they have not any control. Please, they should give us peace and not to manipulate until people are tired to speak. But for now, we are very, very comfortable condition this way. So let us continue to hear ourselves.
All right. I'm wondering why calls are not coming in or coming through. But keep those calls coming in. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, and 0817-923-0007. I'm taking this.
Good evening, Canada. My name is Onyenuche Stephen. Ipman abi Ipman. Then be Akmobi abi the Adolf Hitler. Each day they wake up and give publication to the people of Nigeria, giving us hope when there is hopeless, making us to think that we have something in future. Why the only thing the reason is how to confuse Nigeria and give us false news. We hope on them, but the people we call our leaders are treating us as if we are in a strange land. How we come every day telling us that refinery will work. Is it armored cable or giant cable or the key that they use to lock hellfire, that they use to lock this refinery that it cannot work? Why do we have to die and be punishing ourselves in a country where we have crude, one of the best crude in the world? Then we take it and export it to the foreign land and refine it and import it back to the country. Make people to be suffering here and there as if we come from a country where we don't have any natural resources. Everybody is dying, punishing himself, and struggling just to eat. To eat in Nigeria is like a building project. To even build a house, it's like somebody trying to commit suicide. But these people are just busy promising Nigeria. Doing us, the more you look, the less you see. Well, shame to them, because since they have made fuel to cost and make cost of living punishable and cost for the people of Nigeria, they are doing it to themselves. Because when the followership is not contented and okay and balanced, the leadership is just making fool of themselves. They call themselves leaders. I wonder.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So much passion in that voice note. But let's take this one from Frank, who's calling from D-Line. Frank, welcome. What is on your mind? I like to hear from you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Batumo.
Yeah, good afternoon to you. Welcome, Frank.
Yeah, let me dwell on the comment made by the former President of Goodluck, Jonathan, admonishing former Governor Mr. Wike and equivalent Governor Joseph Fubara for them to work together in order to develop the state. Yes, it's a good call. I'm appealing to both of them for them to shoot the sword and make sure that the river, to develop the river state. This is our home. What happened in Delta some years ago, this happened here. Delta says sometimes ago, the crisis started where investors run away. Today, they never recover. So if nothing happens here, that will happen. So I'm appealing for them to listen to our former president. And thank you and God bless you.
All right, thank you very much, Frank. I've got Gift from Yenegwa. Gift, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you, Gift. The line is breaking. Gift, can you speak? I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay, God bless you. My brother. The former president, Goodluck, is a father, is an uncle, is a leader, as far as I'm concerned. I respect him for using that tone, that word. It's calling for peace and nothing but peace. Terror is senseless. Peace, you cannot joke with anything peace. Kalanda, I was doing what Goodluck and my own leader did yesterday, but it was looking as if Kalanda, we that are calling for peace, we don't even know what we want. That was why at the end of the day, I changed my tune and I will not put the part of Goodluck. I welcome that idea, but I will not do that part. Do you know why? A situation where you are calling for peace and these other persons who are pretending to be victims are the ones doing all sorts of things, calling people, abusing people, and you think this other side is quiet. It will not work that way. But in terms of calling for that, the man is 130% right. So let me leave that one there and talk about the NJC matter that you raised, and that CJN, Chief Justice of the country, Olukayode Arola, now is complaining. Like you insinuated, I suspected River State, because what is playing out there is not happening here. That is the truth. You can imagine a situation where a judge that is a learned man who knows the integrity of his job and knows that if you don't have any jurisdiction, you don't have right to go into a particular matter, but you decided to descend into it one so low, because according to the Constitution, once you don't have jurisdiction, you don't have anything to do with that matter. But these very persons have been doing this. You interviewed the Shidiloy recently. Remember, Shidiloy talked about the court decide not to even go into it and ask everybody to maintain status quo and put this other side on notice so that it will not be something that this other side matter. Somebody is giving judgment when Supreme Court has said you cannot bring in administrators, you cannot even bring in caretaker, but now you are telling the very House of Assembly that what they did was wrong. But you don't even went further or go further to discuss and to tell people that, okay, anything caretaker or administrator is wrong. And that was the earlier thing that they passed in the House. So are you telling us now, with the 1999 Constitution, Section 7, and Supreme Court that have used the word to say anything called caretaker and administrator is wrong, and the House did that, and you are now telling us that what this House amended to adjust and to take care of that situation, that it is wrong. Meanwhile, this matter is before a court. These are the things I is talking about. They will come heavily upon these people. As far as I'm concerned, they have descended into the arena of uselessness. Thank you.
All right. No, we don't do that. Thank you very much. Moving on. Real Gift from Port Harcourt Township. No, come on. Let's use the right words, please. A Real Gift, welcome.
Good afternoon to you, Chief K.
Good afternoon to you. Welcome.
Thank you. You know, I told in my community, no matter how long you leave a piece of food in the water, it will never become a crocodile. That is for the issue of the refinery. For as long as they keep telling us, the good thing is that they said June or July now.
July now. July.
At least the good thing is that they did not tell us third quarter, fourth quarter, because they have made it so simple that me and you don't know which one the quarter again. We don't know quarter, we don't know third quarter. So to God be the glory this time, the semantics have changed from quarter to months. But like I've said before, I said this sometime in December, that if at the end of December the refineries work, I would have been on boxers and seamless and walk from my side of that route. I think the NMPC quarters in Port Harcourt. Sorry, the headquarters in Port Harcourt, yeah. But unfortunately for me, it no work. Unfortunately for the rest of us Nigerians, it's not working. It's our disadvantage. But the thing is this: I believe that as long as they keep pushing it, and don't forget, when they export crude oil and bring in fuel, the entire byproduct in each barrel of crude oil, they think anyone come back.
I don't know. We just know about petrol. I don't know if they bring the other components.
We're not going to find kerosene.
Oh, true.
Even the diesel, what they complain about that.
Okay.
The issue of gas. Just see like how much is a kilo of gas for domestic use at home. That's aware. So, but if they refine this product here, I mean, with the byproduct, a lot of not just employment, other good things of life go follow. And briefly, the comment of the president, just like he said, with one hand you cannot clap. But when they clap with two, sounds better. But the question I want to leave you with now, if they want to go into a truce now, each side will live for which side?
A very good question. And that's the question I'm trying to ask. Is it possible for us to shake hands at this point in time? But thank you, Real Gift. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your thoughts. Let's take a listen to Ibiso. Let's take a listen.
Kalada, good afternoon. Yes, I was at the flag-off ceremony of the Trans-Calabari Road yesterday. The former president made his statement, and it's a welcome development. And I used to say on your station, anything that happened to Rivers State negatively will affect the economy of Nigeria. And the former president, make that statement because he's a former president. He know what Rivers State is producing to the center. So my brothers and sisters should make peace, and the governor should start taking out more projects and things that will affect the people positively. And CGN is angry about the judges. We said it here. The judiciary is our problem. So they should know how they handle their matter. We are waiting for the outcome of River State matter. And NNPC, Kalada, that is your people. I will call them your people.
My jurisdiction.
Because now they want to celebrate 1 year in office, this present administration. So they are just giving us happy 1 year bonus by saying in 2 months' time, Refinery will start. When you raise this topic in January, I said that they will tell you that they forgot spinner and they want to push spinner, they want to push screwdriver. Now, we are still waiting. 2 months is not far. We will still exercise patience and wait and see what will go on. And your news, Rivers today, the courts about local government chairman, the court said something. Please say it to the masses. Let them hear again. Let it not be that episode. I will say it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. That's our conversation for 5 o'clock. So just be patient. Don't be in a hurry. DJ calling for truce is a welcome development. He advised the leaders. He advised the leaders shouldn't try taking 100% power, which is the crux in the Rivers political debacle. I mean, for Ernest, okay, I get your message now. This says the judgment of the State High Court is in line with our constitution. The message from the Port Harcourt Refinery is just mere talk from marketers and not from the NNPC. Only NNPC or the minister has the power or knowledge to announce anything concerning the Port Harcourt Refinery. Kelvin from Port Harcourt. But Kelvin, it was from the NNPC that we heard that at the beginning of May, the Port Harcourt Refinery should have started work. But this is 21st of May. This one says, first of all, why are politicians always signing peace pacts when we are not fighting war? Even Putin have not signed peace pacts. Hamas and Israel have not, but Nigerian politicians will need to sign an accord that they will be peaceful. Second of all, why are we making Jonathan a hero for saying leaders should not ask for 100%? You should tell us how many percent leaders should ask for. Laugh out loud, Africa. For the plenty court cases in Rivers, point one to me that has to do with what the ordinary people are going through. Did anybody take anybody to court because the poor man's child does not have a teacher in his school, or a pregnant woman can't get a good health care? He said, oh, Black Africa. Ernest from Oji, thank you very much for your message. Always sounds poetic. Well, let's take a listen to this.
Good afternoon, Canada. This country is a very beautiful country, and I love the country. The problem we have is with our leaders. Talking about this refinery every time, reminding us of the past, is it the best way to go about it? This refinery is supposed to have worked before now. Even 2 years past, they were telling us the same story. I remember Timis Sliver, the man from Bayelsa, who was a minister, and told us that this refinery will work with this, that, until today, nothing is happening. Let them stop talking about it. Let them do whatever they want to do. And they look at it now. Somebody just came up in the morning and then removed fuel subsidy. Till today, that has been the major problem we have. Many vehicles are not on the streets. People cannot move. Transportation is just like that. And then high cost of living. Now they're talking about what they call it, living wage, or they call it increment in salary. That living wage is just I don't know when they will pass it for it to materialize. Yet people are dying because of the little 30,000 that are given to people. My problem is that I wouldn't want them to be treating us like third class citizens in our country. The poor masses are really grudging that, growing in pains. Let God touch their heart. Let them know that they are there for the poor masses. The last president, the former president, saying that Wike and Fubara should work together. He's just trying to please the public and himself. They can never work together. Fubara should go ahead, get his own people to work. After the expiration of the time, let another person come and work. They can never work together. You can't mix water and oil and then say it is a good mixture.
But you can mix water and oil and make soup. You can make soup with water and oil. What do I know? This one says Canada Port Harcourt Refinery will not work until last quarter of 2026 or first quarter of 2027. I said this before. Damiete Rekosima. All right, Damiete, thank you very much. This is a very long read. Do I have enough time to read it all? Okay, I'm going to try. Did you say that the CJN said they have to address their 2023 inadequacies in the 2023 election ruling? I mean, I read it out. You heard it. This one, he said the CJN should let Nigerians be. They should not remind majority of Nigerians remember what they have tried to forget. Let him just let us be. Conflicting judgment. He talked about some judges giving that. Some judges given that he said is making mockery of Nigerian judiciary system. My question is that is it only those conflicting judgments that he thinks that is making mockery of Nigerian judiciary? I want to ask, what of those PEPT appeal court and Supreme Court presidential verdicts? Were they not a mockery of Nigerian judiciary system? I want to ask. He did not say so, by the way. Maybe I should correct you from now. What he said that wherever they didn't do so well, they should improve on it. But to a large extent, in the parts where they did very well, they should also, improve on what they did very well after giving themselves a pat on the back. So he said, messages like this would not intimidate them from doing what is written down in the Constitution. So maybe you want to get the story right. But you went ahead to say, what did you say again? Please let him go on his retirement and leave the super story talks to disappoint majority of Nigerians. Look at what the Kenyan judiciary did when they stepped on toes on their presidential election verdict against their incumbent president, whom the electoral body declared as the winner of the presidential election. Then you said Refinery. They keep on giving you people hope. The renewed hope is now renowned hardship. Now, no be end of the year where Ipman will back talk again. Now July. And I saw the post on that about Refinery at the end of the 2023 and I never see anything. Okay, your message is very difficult to read, so I'll have to skip that. I also want to support what the former president Goodluck Jonathan said. Both parties should shit their sod and find a common ground to resolve their differences so that Rivers State will move forward. See Baye from Bile. Okay, this one says, if this whole non-functional status of the refineries, especially the Port Harcourt and Warri refineries, is not a politically calculated intent to keep the Niger Delta region in abject poverty and depleted socio-economic state, what else could it be? How can a minute set of people, a minute set of people, you meant to say, continue dribbling with the economy and intelligence of the citizen from one administration to another? From Elsivia, thank you very much. Do I have enough time to read more messages? Ida from Inkoro says, good afternoon, Kalada. About the statement of our former governor, GJ, me, I don't want such peace because as it stands, we are benefiting development and lots more. Congratulations to the two local government chairmen that won their case in court today. This one says, Chief KD, you remember on this platform I've told you on different occasions since last year that the refinery is a super story. It won't work. Now, have they not promised you again? Don't worry, by July they will make another promise from Hector. All right, Hector, thank you very much. John Peter says, a line needs to be done. We in Port Harcourt have taken enough shenanigans from the man in Bielsa. There are radio stations. Okay, thank you very much. Moving on. This one says, good day, Mr. K. Batabo. Analog promising of Nigerians about our refineries to work. Let the authority concerned stop reminding me about unworkable refineries. I want to tear Clinton West. I've got so many messages, trust me, but I've got to step on the brakes right now. Got to drop the anchor so that Constance Mega can bring you the business update. After the business update, we'll come back into the studio and we will talk about some legal issues as it concerns the screening of commissioners, and we will talk about that. And then the 5 o'clock hour, we'll talk about the court case or the court judgment and the victory for the two local government chairmen. So please do stay tuned.